lost in the noise, seeking the light. Echoes of ages, shining so bright. Welcome to ancient wisdom, stories anew. Wisdom for me and wisdom for you.
In a quiet village in ancient Israel, there stood a humble school where a wise old teacher named Rabbi Eliyahu taught. He was a man of great knowledge, honesty, and years of life experience. Though nearing 70, his passion for teaching the youth remained strong. Among his students were two gifted boys, Reuben and Yonatan. Reuben was known for his tireless diligence. He spent every hour with the Torah and scrolls, believing that only through constant effort and discipline could one achieve greatness. Yonatan, however, had a different perspective. He respected hard work, but also understood the value of wisdom in using one's mind strategically. Their family situations were very different. Reuben came from a modest but stable household, and his only responsibility was to study. Yonatan, meanwhile, was the son of a struggling shepherd. Every day he helped his father tend to their sheep on the rocky hills. His father, Nachum, labored under the hot sun, barely able to provide enough bread for the family. One evening, after a long day in the fields, Yonatan sat down under the flickering oil lamp to study. His father, weary and upset, said sharply, "Why do you study so much, my son? We are poor. What good will books do us?" Fighting back tears, Yonatan softly replied, "Abba, I know we are poor, but if I don't learn and grow, how will we ever rise above this life? If I stay ignorant, we remain in poverty forever." Nachum sighed deeply. "You don't understand, Yonatan. Learning is for those with means. How can I afford to send you to the yeshiva?" In a trembling voice, Yonatan said, "I'm not studying for riches, Abba. I believe that if I work hard today, with Hashem's help, our future can change." His father looked into his son's determined eyes and said no more. That night, Yonatan did not sleep. He dried his tears and continued to study, short on time, but full of hope. Rabbi Eliyahu called both boys one day and said, "Today I have a final test for you. It will challenge your strength and wisdom. You must climb the hill of Gilboa and bring me a rare flower that grows only at the top. Whoever returns first will be the winner." Excited, both boys agreed. Reuben raced toward the hill at dawn, pushing himself up the steep path. He was drenched in sweat, but didn't slow down, believing that endurance alone would earn him victory. Yonatan paused at the base of the hill. He thought, there must be a better way. He approached an elderly traveler resting nearby. "Excuse me, is there a simpler path to the top of the hill?" he asked. The old man smiled gently. "Yes, behind the olive grove is a winding trail. Not as steep, but it will take you there with less strain." Yonatan chose the hidden path. Though longer, it allowed him to conserve energy and think clearly. Meanwhile, Reuben continued to climb the hard way. His legs ached, but he pressed on. Eventually, Reuben reached the top, only to see Yonatan already descending with the flower in hand. Shocked, Reuben could hardly believe it. "How?" "I gave it my all," he whispered. Both boys stood before Rabbi Eliyahu. The teacher looked at Reuben and said, "You showed great perseverance, but you assume that suffering alone leads to success. In truth, wisdom is just as important." Turning to Yonatan, he continued, "You used your mind well, but always choosing the easier route is not enough. Without true effort, success is empty." Reuben's eyes filled with tears. "I understand now, Rabbi. We need more than hard work. We must work with insight." Yonatan nodded. "And I've learned that success requires both dedication and discernment." The teacher placed his hands on their heads and said, "This is a lesson for life. To succeed, you must combine effort with wisdom. Intelligence alone fades. Without hard work, blessings do not last." Years passed. Reuben became a brilliant scholar and scribe, known throughout the land. He learned to balance effort with deep understanding. Yonatan became a prosperous merchant, respected for both his wisdom and his tireless work ethic. One day they returned to visit their old teacher. Rabbi Eliyahu, now frail, welcomed them with a warm smile. Together they said, "Rabbi, your final lesson shaped who we became." Tears filled the old man's eyes. "I always knew you would both grow into great men. The secret to success," he said, "is simple: the harmony of hard work and wisdom." Looking into the loving eyes of their teacher, Reuben and Yonatan were overcome with gratitude. Moral of the story: hard work alone can be slow without thoughtful strategy. Taking shortcuts may seem easier, but true success demands sincere effort. To prosper in life, we must combine perseverance with wisdom. Stay strong, stay inspired, and always choose the path of both heart and mind. Thank you.